Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm in the world of gamification, and I do think everybody in this room deserves a badge for finding their way to this room, because it must be the most difficult one of all of them. Anyway, my name's Robert Nuri. I'm the CEO and co-founder of ArcticShores, and our mission is to help organizations make better people choices and people better career choices. But before I share with you how we have delivered on that mission, I'd like you to reflect on this thought. Why is it that companies still so regularly make poor hiring decisions? And why is it that a female graduate will on average have to make 12 job applications to get one offer, and a male graduate will have to only do 8? And the reason for that is the way that we select talent is flawed. We start off with the resume. And the resumes are either so good that we can't tell the difference between them, or they're so bad we don't know what to look for. So we start looking at periphery information. Things like, oh, this person likes surfing. Great, I like surfing, so we'll bring them forward to the interview. Well, what's that got to do with job performance? Then they come into the interview. And in the first 14 to 15 seconds, we are engineered as humans to make a decision as to whether that person is similar to us. And that will start governing our choice as to whether we hire them or not. And so this is the choice that we end up with. And the elephant in the room around all of this, the real problem as to why this continues to go on, is because of unconscious bias. And so let me just show you how difficult a problem it is to deal with unconscious bias. Stick up your hand if when you see this picture now, you see a young woman with her head turned to the right. Okay, stick up your hand if you can see an old woman with a shawl on her head looking down. So we can see both of those things in that, but instinctively, when that picture first came up, your unconscious brain was immediately looking for things that it could recognize in that before the conscious brain then started to process what it saw. The unconscious brain is making 11 million data point decisions a second. The conscious brain is only looking at 40. And in other cases, we're even hardwired. If you remember this from a couple of years ago, some people can only see black and blue, and others can only see gold and white. This is hardwired into the way that we look at things. So from a recruitment point of view, what we really need is some sort of tool that allows us to tap into somebody's strengths, a candidate's strengths, in an authentic and unbiased way, and then use that information to then determine are they a good fit for a role or a department in my company. Basically, we want a Harry Potter sorting hat to sort out this problem. Actually, in science, it's getting pretty close to this. So now you'll see here an example of a brain through an Fmri scan. And what's interesting in this is that people are either doing a task here where they either make a safe or a risky decision. People who are predisposed to make riskier decisions will use the red areas of their brain, whereas people predisposed to make safer decisions will use the green areas of their brain. So the challenge for ArcticShores was, how do we find tasks like this that we can then turn into a measure of personality and a measure of whether somebody will perform well in the workplace? Well, we trawled through neuroscientific research and found a number of tasks that people had used in the past that were well validated to determine personality. And we gamified them. And we put them into a sort of game-like interface, but still within a work setting, which we think is really important. And then from this, we were able to start measuring people's personality traits. We have 9 different behavioral tasks. We'll capture 35 personality traits from that. And those 35 personality traits include things like learning agility, resilience, things that are quite hard to measure in other ways. And we'll pass it through an algorithm that is tested to ensure that no bias has been introduced into the process. And then we can match people to whether they're a good fit for a role or a department. And these are the kind of results that we're getting. We've now got 100 clients in 36 different countries. And they are achieving, in many cases, things like female pass rates are doubling. And at the same time, the quality of selection is going up. And we fulfill this final part of our mission by giving every candidate a feedback report that includes not just their strengths, but career guidance. And we think that's so important for many people who are still trying to understand where their strengths are. So if you think that was great and you'd like to find out more, here are my details. I will also be doing a demo session, and I have a real Harry Potter sorting hat. So if you want to know which Hogwarts house you're in, come and see me afterwards. Thank you very much.